Hooray for Hollywood. Yippee-ki-yay, oh, hello. I'm Stan the Movie Man, and this is my weekly movie review. And this week, I got two for you. First is Magic Mike XXL. Sequel, of course, to the incredibly popular male stripper movie. I did not see the first film. However, you can tell by what happens in the second film. Pretty much what happened in the first film. But in this case, Channing Tatum's Magic Mike has started his own custom furniture company and is on the verge of expanding it a bit. But he gets a call from Tarzan, played by Kevin Nash, telling him that Dallas from the previous film has died. And to meet them at a hotel where they will have a wake. That was a lie. Dallas isn't dead. He just left all the guys and started his own thing in the Middle East. The guys are sort of winging it on their own. They are headed to a convention, a stripper convention in Myrtle Beach, and they want Mike to join them again. Initially he says no, but then thinks about it because his own personal life has kind of taken a dumper, and he decides to go off with the guys for one last ride, as they refer to it. The movie's pretty funny. There is a decent story, let's say, because, you know, the guys are all getting up in years and they're all deciding that maybe they need to be doing something else, especially the Kevin Nash Tarzan character. And of course Richie, played by Joe Manganiello, is also trying to find something that he describes in the movie in a way that I'm not going to hear. But anyway, they all are off on this road trip, and various catastrophes occur along the way, and they require the aid of an old friend of Mike's, a former boss, a lady named Rome, played by Jada Pinkett Smith, in order to continue their trip and hopefully to succeed at this stripper convention. That whole stripper convention thing is all very sort of cloudy and muddy as to exactly what it is. It's not a competition, but there is a competitive aspect to it, I guess, for the amount of dollars that get thrown at them. It's all kind of murky and doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And the film is sort of just there. I mean, granted, I'm a guy. This is really more of a woman's film, as in many ways the women portrayed in the film are in charge. It's okay. There's a storyline involving Mike and a woman he meets that implies a romance, but it never gets followed through on. It's just a weird kind of story that I don't think got fully fleshed out, pardon the expression, and that's why I'm giving Magic Mike XXL 3 stars. Let's move on to Terminator Genisys. Of course, the follow-up, or the continuation of the story. It's kind of a reboot in that, in this story, the timeline has been reset due to actions by Skynet and the various Terminators that get sent back in time. Sarah Connor, in this case, played by Emilia Clarke from Game of Thrones, and Kyle Reese, played by Jai Courtney. Of course, you still have Arnold Schwarzenegger as the original T-800, who is now called Pops, because in this revised timeline, he has raised Sarah Connor since she was 9 years old. And there are various other shenanigans with the timeline. It has a lot of action. It's an exciting story because there's this computer program, this operating system that is supposed to interconnect all of your devices and is also connected in part to the defense system, which eventually becomes sentient, which eventually turns into Skynet, which eventually causes the destruction of humanity. Their job in this film is to stop it. Now, there was a little controversy, well, a lot of controversy online when a major spoiler got released in a trailer. And at the time, I didn't think too much of it, but now having seen the film, that was a huge mistake. That could have been the kind of thing that generated word of mouth from people who saw it early, that could have really driven people to the theater. As it is, apparently, at least in its opening few days, Terminator Genisys has not done as well at the box office as they had hoped. There's, of course, a lot of CG action. You get a new T-1000 played by Byung-hun, and you get, you know, lots of stuff blowing up. There's a new variety of Terminator that we meet as well, and that seems even more unstoppable than the T-1000. I enjoyed it for what it was. It's strictly your basic video game action movie, as all of the really big action set pieces are done largely with CG. But I liked the convoluted timeline, because that means time, at least in this story, time is fluid. It's a lot of fun. The T-800, the original Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger, is, of course, the cause of, and sometimes the butt of, a joke, and his deadpan character is very funny at times. It's an enjoyable film. I think it deserves a better Rotten Tomatoes score. It may not be art, but it is entertainment, and that's why I'm giving Terminator Genisys 5 stars. Go to StanTheMovieMan.com to read my complete reviews of both films, as well as to check out the trailers for next week's movies, at least one of which I will see. You can follow me on Twitter at MovieManStan, and you can send emails to StanTheMovieMan at Comcast.net. Till next time, toodles.